Married male entrepreneurs. What if success is actually distracting you from the thing that really matters? For those of you that don't know me, I am a married entrepreneur. I'm married to my beautiful wife, Sati. We've got our 2 children, Sage and Zen. For those of you that don't know me, I've been an entrepreneur for probably 10 years, have built multiple businesses. A few years ago, I built a business to £500,000 in revenue in about 15 months, which was life coach training. I've had the privilege of speaking on sharing a stage that has been graced by people like Stephen Bartlett, Grant Cardone, Marie Forleo, Joe Wicks, Gary Vaynerchuk, Wim Hof, some of the Fern Cotton, some of the names of people that I've shared the similar stage with. I've delivered events on behalf of people that promote Tony Robbins. I've literally had billboards with my face on it next to Tony Robbins, and to in many respects, married to the girl of my dreams. I could go on and on and on, right? In many respects, what I have achieved, and I don't tell you that to impress you, but to impress upon you, that what I've achieved has been, to some extent, beyond my wildest dreams. But the problem with what I've achieved is none of it, and I'm including my wife and my children, none of it has made me happy. And unfortunately, the reason is because I've been chasing success. And what do I mean by that? I've lived most of my life with the belief that if I achieve one, I'll be happy, but actually that's not why I've been chasing success. I've been chasing success because I believe, to some extent, if I achieve, people, and by the way, no people in particular, will tell me I'm enough. And the reason that I've been obsessed at an unconscious level with people telling me I'm enough is because for most of my life, I've felt inadequate. For most of my life, I've felt not enough. And that just goes back to childhood, right? As everything often does, right? Everything goes back to bloody childhood. And if you don't know about me, if you've not seen me before, my mum raised me brilliantly on a council estate in Birmingham, did the best she truly could. My mum and dad pretty much broke up before I was born. And as a result, that left me as a boy who then became a man, who at an unconscious level was always looking to fill the gap, was always looking to have somebody effectively replace the father void. And obviously my mum couldn't do it, 1, because she's a female, and 2, because she had her own stuff, and she's trying to juggle me and raise me and work 3 jobs and keep our heads above water because we're running out of pay-as-you-go electric tokens most weeks. And as a result, I became a pretty angry, dysregulated young man, broken relationships, bad attitude, anger issues, and really a real lack of awareness really about who I was, what I stood for. And I basically would just, for most of my life, I'm 42 now, but for most of my life, I would do whatever it takes to be accepted, approved of, validated, chosen, liked by whoever. Insert male, older, mentor, father figure, role model that potentially my inner child would feel, yeah, they'll do, right? They'll fill the void. And I did it in relationships. I would do it in relationships. I would attract girls that were totally wrong for me. I was totally wrong for them. Most of them were like my mum. So meaning I'm trying to also fix that through girlfriends. That didn't work. Thankfully met my wife, who has been nothing but unconditionally loving and supportive of me, dealing with my shit, dealing with my unresolved childhood pains and anger and issues and trauma, right? And what I've come to realize is the things that we seek, the things that we chase, often in life. A great coach friend said to me once upon a time, he said, Miles, here's what you need to know. He said, the things that you say you want, you probably don't want. To which I was like, what are you talking about? He went, there's something deeper that you want. And he said, you've got to figure out what that is. And at the time I didn't really understand that, but now I understand. Now I understand that we as men, especially male entrepreneurs, we chase success, which is human nature, right? You know, if you're not an entrepreneur and you're male and you're married, then we chase success in every respect. Like we chase, because if you go back thousands of years to caveman era, we were chasing wild boar and deer and whatever to feed our families. So, but the problem that we have, I believe, in today is we forget what we're chasing for. I forgot what I was doing it for. And what that translated into was me achieving, for example, I'm speaking today in Newport, Wales, in front of 100 people. But if I take you back even just a couple of years, here's how these type of events would go, right? I would deliver on stage, I would be amazing. And by the way, I'm not saying I was like ego, I'm saying I would be like fucking greatest showman, performing to the crowd, giving them everything, and at the end of the event they want photos with me and they want to tell me how great I am, and they sign up for my courses, and I do all that, right? I've done it for years. But here's what then would happen. I'd come off stage, and the stage energy that I gave, I would turn it down. And I'd go home, and my wife, Sati, my beautiful, beautiful wife, would get leftovers. Moody, cranky, dysregulated, pain body. Now don't get me wrong, I know tonight I'm going to go home and I'm going to be tired, but I also know that I believe, from what I'm experiencing and men I'm speaking to, that a lot of men are working so hard to provide that they're forgetting that actually their partner especially, but their kids as well, what they really want is presence with a CE on the end, not so much presence with a TS. So what do I mean by that? Well, you providing an income and a home and a mortgage and all that stuff, that's great, that's important, that's significant, I do that too, right? But I've realized that the female, in particular, if you're married to a female, doesn't care so much about that as they care about being seen. So if you go home and you have busted your ass all day and you're so tired that you can't see your partner, see your wife, the super mom that she is, if you've got kids, and give her the amount of undivided attention that you've given your business endeavor, your job or your whatever it is, if you can't give her the same level of presence, then your marriage is screwed. And I don't mean like as in you're gonna necessarily fall apart or you're gonna divorce. I don't mean that, but you'll just notice things. Like I know when I look back on that, like our intimacy was low, our connection was low, our banter was low, and arguments weren't consistent, but we would just have a tiny little spark and it would be like 0 to 100, like argument, and it was like rah, right? And that hasn't happened for a while, and the main reason is because, I'm gonna jinx it now, and I'm gonna have an argument with my wife now when I get home. But it was because I made the decision to be more intentional with how I showed up at home. Made a decision to be more present. Made an intention to go, I need to make sure that my wife, I need to make sure that Sati gets the same level of energy that I've given on stage, and I know that this is not easy, right? I had a client recently I worked with who will remain nameless, and he was with a business coach, and he came to me for life coaching, specifically around his marriage. And he said to me after 3 sessions or something, he said, "Miles, I feel really overwhelmed and I'm not sure if I want to carry on this coaching with you." And I said, "Okay, that's cool, like, but for feedback reasons, so that I know and I can improve the quality of the experience for other people that maybe come in, can you tell me what it is that makes you feel that way?" And he went, "Yeah, well, I was with that business coach before and he only had me focused on business, and now you've got me thinking about I've got to focus on my marriage and my kids and my health and my spirituality, and you got me thinking I should be going back to church and all that." Anyway, I'm a Christian and he was as well, right? And I said, "That's life, mate, right?" I said, I'm not adding more to your plate, I'm showing you what's on your plate. Like, you've just been eating the meat, you've been ignoring the vegetables, and it's a terrible analogy, but you get the point, right? The point is, that is life. If you're a male married entrepreneur, that's life. And if you're a male married entrepreneur and you know that and you've got everything working the way that you want, the best, marriage is great, business is great, relationship with kids, if that's you, then this video is probably not relevant for you. But if this isn't all working well the way that you want it to do, we've got an event coming up. There should be a link around the video. It's called Reset, and it's an event for men. It's 1 day, and in 1 day we're gonna resolve all this. 1 day you're gonna leave with a clear strategic plan for how you are gonna make sure that your marriage, your relationship is succeeding and is growing and thriving in the way that your business is. And somewhere around the video there should be a link for you to go and register for that event, free event on Zoom, and there should be a link somewhere around. So that's it from me. Go ahead, register for the event. Love to see you there. Spend a whole day together, get this handled, get this resolved, and get you to a point where what you really should be doing, which is where your home life, your marriage is, because that's what we're doing it for, is as good as it possibly can be. So that's it for now. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one. See you soon. Bye.